Hey, what's going on guys, it's Amir. This is my 1 month update of my hair transplant procedure from Turkey. I'm gonna go ahead and share with you all the ups, downs, and everything in between that I've experienced this past month. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. If you haven't seen my hair transplant video yet, I would highly recommend checking that one out. I'll leave it in the description below. I basically took you guys through the full process from the moment I arrived at the airport to actually getting my transplant done and how I felt. Everything that I wanted to cover about the hair transplant was covered in that video, so be sure to check that video out. So before we get into all the updates, I want to go ahead and talk about everything that happened from week 1 to week 4, which is basically the current week that I'm filming this video. So if you're planning to get a hair transplant, or if you have done a hair transplant recently, you know what to expect in those coming weeks, especially those first initial weeks, because that's where you'll probably see the most amount of changes, discomfort, and whatnot. So let's start from the beginning. The first week of my actual hair transplant, I would say, was probably the most uncomfortable out of the rest of the 3 weeks because my head was pretty much swollen. They told me to lay on a travel pillow when I go to sleep and just sleep straight up, and basically my movement was very limited. Not to mention I wasn't able to shower for the first 3 days, so that was also kind of uncomfortable because I wasn't able to get any like steam or anything like that up on the transplanted area, especially in the first few days when it's sensitive. So I would say the first 3 days were probably the most difficult. Once the first week went by, I was already back in the US, and that's when my recovery process actually started to speed up a whole lot more. After the transplant procedure, you kind of have like these scabs all over your transplanted area. So they basically told me to have these scabs out by day 11 or 12 in the shower. But I got into this bad habit of picking and scratching my scars, and it was really addicting and satisfying for some odd reason. But because of that, I got pretty much all my scabs out just within the first week. So after the first 5 days, the swelling most of it was gone. But afterwards, when I would lay on the pillow, normally without the actual travel pillow that I was originally sleeping on, there would be a little bit of like stinging and whatnot, like something like poking you in the back of your donor area where they extracted the hair from. So it was slightly uncomfortable, not the end of the world, but that's something that you can expect within your first week or 2 of your hair transplant procedure. Either way, the recovery was coming in really quick. My donor area was healing up really well. The transplanted grafts, nothing was sensitive. Just within the first week and a half to 2 weeks, I was able to even start putting on a hat and start going out without having to worry about it hurting or anything like that. But honestly, at this point, after it's been like a month since my hair is shaved, so I'm actually pretty comfortable with this kind of look. So I don't really wear my hat these days, unless if it's like super sunny or if it's a place where I need to actually protect my head, because right now it's still sensitive, so you don't want to, end up hurting it, or you don't want excessive heat from the sun or anything like that. And as we move into the last week, which is the week that I'm recording this video, hits my 1 month mark. Now I can say I'm fully recovered from the actual surgery. I have no pain or stinging or anything like that. I can sleep absolutely normally, and I can run my hands through my hair just like this without actually feeling any sort of scabs or anything like that. Everything is back to normal. All the anesthesia that I had up over here, all the sensitivity is pretty much gone as well, so now I can feel my scalp. Things are recovering really fast, very quick, and I'm really happy about that. But I don't know if you guys have noticed in this video yet, at least, but my shedding phase has actually begun now. The doctor told me before my transplant that within your some people experience it after their 2nd month, their 3rd month, but I guess for me it's definitely a bit earlier. But the areas that they transplanted the grafts, those areas are basically shedding. So the area that was basically right here, the front half of my head and the rear back of my head, are basically shedding. So now you just see like a thick layer of the bridge in between kind of running through my head. Again, I'm not sure how much more it's gonna shed. It's just been shedding over the past week and a half or so. So I don't know how much more it's gonna shed, or if I'm gonna completely lose the hair that was transplanted. I guess in the next month or 2 I'll find out and I'll update you guys on that. But I would say this is probably the worst part of the hair transplant procedure, because you've got your hair transplant and now it looks like it didn't even work, if you want to frame it that way. But most people at this phase kind of start freaking out. They're like, oh, what's going on with my hair? But I was rest assured that this was 100% normal. This is absolutely nothing to worry about. And some people, I've even heard that they don't even end up shedding the transplanted hair fully, and instead those transplanted grafts just end up growing out as they were already transplanted from the procedure. So I hope that happens. I hope I don't shed too much more than this, but if it does, then it does, right? It's just part of the procedure, and this is just something that I was expecting, honestly. Just to show you a little bit of a live demonstration, this is basically the area I can personally clearly see shedding. I don't know if you guys can see over here, as well as my crown area in the back as well. But this is the area that's mainly shedding. I might even throw some pictures up for you guys so you can see. And then now I'm going to show you my donor area if you guys kind of want to take a look at that as well. And this is my donor area back here. As you can see, it's healed up pretty quick. There's no over harvesting. There's no major visible scars or scabs or anything like that. Right now with this donor area, just within a month, you wouldn't be able to even tell that I got a hair transplant. And I think that came down to mainly two factors. One was the experience of the trichologists that were extracting my hair follicles. They extracted it from exactly the right spots to make sure that there was no over harvesting of the follicular units. And number two was the health and how thick my donor area was already. Those two things combined really ensured that I wasn't over harvesting or leaving visible scars or visible signs of a transplant post-procedure, which was one thing I was kind of concerned about. But luckily it turned out very well. Recovery again came down to be really quick. As of now, I know a bunch of you guys are asking me if I started taking finasteride or if I'm going to continue to take finasteride, but I don't know if most of you guys know this, but I've actually been taking finasteride for the past 3 years. So I'm just going to continue taking them for the best results, right? And to keep my current hair and prevent any progression of any further hair loss in the future. So the answer to that question is yes, I'm going to continue taking finasteride. I take 1 milligram every single day. I've had no side effects personally, so I was good. That's one thing I'm going to take every single day for as long as I don't see any side effects. And second thing I'm going to be using, at least for the next year, is going to be Rogaine. This has been, I guess, a staple. I know I told you guys in the past that I'm going to probably discontinue using it at some point, which I will. But for now, the doctor recommended me to stay on it for, again, the best results possible. So I'm going to stay on this for at least for the next year. If not, maybe a year, I might switch over to the oral minoxidil or maybe come up with some sort of strategy to hop off minoxidil permanently so I'm not relying on it. The next thing I use every single day is this GF hair serum that I got from Vera Clinic, the place where I got my hair transplant from. This is a special serum made specifically for post-transplant procedure to kind of enhance your results. This is one of the really important things that the doctor recommended for optimal results. I'm going to continue using this for at least the next 6 months. Another thing I use every single day are these HairX multivitamins. These multivitamins are full of vitamin A, C, vitamin B5, B6, biotin, zinc, keratin, and a whole lot of bunch of good stuff, which is supposed to really help the overall health of your hair. So I'm going to continue taking these for as long as these supplies last. They said about 6 months. I take one every single day. Another thing I use every single day is this HairX shampoo. This was also one of the other supplements that they recommend me take every single day. This has, again, same thing, zinc, caffeine, biotin, vitamin H, vitamin B3, so a bunch of good stuff basically for your hair. And yes, it's paraben free. So before my hair transplant, I used to wash my hair maybe like twice a week just to kind of build up the nutrients and whatnot, but the doctor told me to use this actually every single day. So I am now back to washing my hair every single day, at least for as long as supplies last. I have a 6-month supply of the shampoo. I'm going to be using it every single day, and then maybe once I'm out of all of the shampoo, I might switch to maybe 3 or 4 times a week with my regular shampoo and whatnot. So for now, I guess for the next 6 months, I'm going to continue taking some of these supplements, and then I'm going to continue using minoxidil and finasteride for the next year to make sure that, you know, I'm not losing any more hair. And in combination with the hair transplant and the new hairs growing, I think we're setting ourselves up for a good plan for a good overall result. So yeah, basically this was my 1 month update for you guys on my overall hair transplant. I'm overall really happy and excited to hit that 6 month mark and actually start seeing new growth coming in, and I'm really excited to share that with you guys as well. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you have any questions related to hair transplants or any specific hair related questions, you can leave them in the comment section below, or you can personally email me. I'll leave my personal email below in the description, so you can go ahead and contact me there. Other than that, if you need information about the hair transplant clinic that I went to in Turkey, I'll leave their information in the description as well, so you can go ahead and contact them if you're planning to get your hair transplant procedure done. Let me know what you guys thought about the video. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, hit the notification bell so you know every time I post a new video. Other than that, thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.